Hey guys, this is Tajin Brown McBean from Money Coaching Services, and today we're going to be talking about the 20 mistakes, 20 money mistakes that people make. So before we get into the details, I'd like you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when next we are on. So let's get into the details. So number one, not getting educated about money. How are you going to manage something you don't understand, people? A lot of persons were not taught about money at home or at school, right? Most of you are just getting and spelling and trying to figure out what is your next best move. So we at Money Coaching Services, we have a membership program that we train you. It is a financial literacy training. Yes, we educate you on your money. So you can visit our website at moneycoachingservices.com/membership. And I will also put it in the details under about video. All right, so that's number one, not getting education about your money and how money works. Number two, not budgeting regardless of your income. Because some people think that budgeting is for poor people. Only poor people should budget. Lies. I have clients who earn $500,000 per month, $1 million per month, and no savings. Right? Money going in every direction, and many of them is not the direction that will help them to create financial freedom. The patterns they have will not help them to create wealth, even though they are earning so much. So budget. You have to budget regardless of the income you have. Or you have an accountant that is doing the budgeting, but somebody must be doing the budgeting. And of course, we are here to provide consultation and guidance. Number three, not having enough emergency fund or not having any emergency fund, or even worse, thinking that you don't need an emergency fund. Like seriously, people, an emergency fund is like unto a warrior, a skilled warrior going to war and not wearing any armor. Like seriously, your emergency fund is your protection here, people. In all things money management, your emergency fund is your, what I say? It's your armor. It is for when all hell is breaking loose. When it's not roses and sunshine day, like when COVID came. When people get redundant. When people losing spouses. And now instead of one income, instead of two income coming in, now you have one income. This is what an emergency fund is for, is your protection, your armor in this financial war. So get with the program. If you want to protect yourself, you and your family, you must have an emergency fund. It is not a yes, you want to, or no, you don't want to. It is a must. It is like the foundation of your house. Budgeting and emergency fund form the foundation of all things financial management. Number four is only paying minimum payments to your credit card. it is dangerous for you to be only paying the minimum payments to your credit card. Reason being is that we did a calculation for clients to show them that if you are paying your minimum payment, it can take you up to 30 years. How much I say? 30 years, 3 decades if you're just paying the minimum payments to your credit card. And this is why when people pay their minimum payment to their credit card and they look at the balance for the next month, they say, but so much goes back into interest and fees. Yes, you are not reaching anywhere. So when I hear a person saying, oh, the bank is lucky because they can't afford to pay anymore, you are so right. The bank is lucky. The bank is lucky that you don't know anything about your finances. You are not financially literate to know that this is one of the number one ways the bank is making billions. Credit card. Credit card is the number one way for the banks to make billions. Based on the calculations, you will see that a credit card can give them so much in interest and fees. Later down, I'm going to tell you what is number two. So I don't know if any of you realize that when JN was starting, moving from a credit union to a bank, the first thing they introduced was a credit card. Because a credit card is something that can create millions for the bank, billions for the bank, especially from you lovely people who keep only paying minimum payments. If you know you cannot manage a card, we have a credit card training. We did a credit card training recently, and now we have the replay. So you can go and watch the replay. So the replay, I help persons in the replay to figure out what amount you can pay each month, a fixed money, right? So you don't have to do not guessing and not selling. Fixed amount to pay to your credit card each month to pay off in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. And you match it to your budget and you take your time and pay off the credit card, because having a credit card and paying it one credit card for 30 years is pure madness. And you're wondering why it is that you are not creating wealth. It is because you are making big mistakes. A lot of persons have this attachment to the credit card. They don't want to give up the credit card even though they cannot manage it. What is managing a credit card? When you are able to make the full balance every month or most of the time, and when I say most of the time, out of the 12 months of the year, at least 8 months out of the year, you are able to pay the full balance. If that is not you, you do not or cannot manage a credit card. Get rid of it, or it will cause you stress like no other. It will rob you of your wealth because you are not able to manage a credit card in a way that it is beneficial to you. All right, so I put the credit card pay off training in the about section so you can have access to that, and you will get to know how much you need to pay per month, a flat figure to pay off your card in 6, 12, or 6, 12, 24, or 36 months. That's the best I can do for you, being so far. Yeah. All right, so number 5 is only making the minimum payments to your loans and your mortgages. So there was a situation where I went on a trip with some past students from my high school, right? And I paid off my mortgage, my 25-year mortgage, 17 years early. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, that is impossible and whatever. It is what it is. Facts don't change because you don't believe them, right? A fact is a fact. Truth don't change because someone don't believe it. If you want me to show you how to pay off yours in that time frame or show you how it is possible to pay it off in even 10 years, I can do the calculations and I can tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. All right? So the Bible says the people perish because of lack of wisdom, lack of education, and financial illiteracy is why a lot of you are not paying off your mortgages early because you think that by having your mortgage for the whole 30 years is benefiting you, not knowing that if you got a printout and looked at the interest that is going to the bank, the dollar value, and how much is coming from the principal to pay your mortgage, you will realize that 90% or even up to 95% of your monthly mortgage payment is going to the bank in interest and fees. Now you tell me who you think is smarter, the one paying the mortgage for 40 years or the one that pay off years early? Because it is actually possible for you. Listen, people, if you are able to qualify easily for a mortgage, you can actually afford not one house, but two houses of the same value. So instead of just sitting down and paying a mortgage for 40 years, you could have paid off two mortgages in 40 years. Da, 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 da. But I am not going to teach you that on YouTube. That is for persons who want to come into a session with me for me to customize something for them and for me to show them how it is I was able to pay off my mortgage early. Right? I customize my things for my clients. My clients are special. The YouTube is for you to get some idea of if I have expertise in what I'm talking about. YouTube cannot personalize something for everybody that watch. Everybody's metric is different. Your numbers are different. Your habits are different. Your resources are different. And so all of these things are taken into consideration when the session is being done. So pay more than the minimum payment to your loans and your mortgages. If you need help, you can contact us at moneycoachingservices.com, right? And we will help you to take it from there. So number 6 is buying a bigger house than you can afford. Yes, people. Buying a bigger house than you can afford is a financial mistake. It's a money mistake. Buying a house that is more expensive than you can afford is a financial mistake because anything can happen. Now, in our case, when we were getting our mortgage, I was deliberate. I said to my husband at the time that, listen, we are going to purchase a house that only took that my income can qualify for, right? Because if anything happens to you, I want to ensure that we can still afford to meet the mortgage payment. If anything happens to me, you can still afford the mortgage payment. So never is it a good idea for you to have money and you are going to get any loan and you go to the extreme. You know, have not even stalled. You not even have, what should I say, $1,000 in a savings. But you want to buy the biggest house you can find. Financial mistake. This is a big mistake. Show off will kill you. But instead of being able to pay off your house early and buy another one, you want to show off. You want to show off. But that is financial madness. We don't do those things with our money. That is a financial mistake. Extending yourself more than you know that you should is a financial mistake, is a money mistake. Number 7, waiting to save for retirement. What are you waiting for? You reach age 40, you don't have no retirement. You reach age 50, you don't have no retirement saving. You reach age 60, you don't have a retirement saving. And this is mainly toward mostly business owners, because I find that they fall in that trap easily, focusing on the everyday expenses and paying salaries and so on for staff and forgetting that they need to set up a retirement fund for themselves, business owners. They're also contract persons. You are not on a pension plan where you work, and there is nothing set up for you for a pension. You have to have a retirement plan. Need a retirement plan to get going. Those of you who you reach age 65, you can come and I will assess what it is that you have. But I am telling you from now, don't expect no miracle. You see, when you can't expect a miracle from the mortgage and the credit card, yeah, those I'm very good at. But when it comes to your reach basically a threshold of near to a retirement, my hands are almost tied. I am limited to the options I can share with you. When should you start your retirement fund? From day one, you start working. Day one. Day one, you get one from your job. Day one, you get a retirement plan set up from your job. For those who are self-employed, after you register the business, well, you have some of you not registered yet. So after you start earning your first income from the business, put aside 5%. So much I say 5%. I'm not even saying a lot. 5% of the income that you assign to yourself as your retirement fund. Or you can get something more structured, because retirement plans can be set up locally in Jamaica through Sagicor and Guardian. I'm a financial advisor and I can help you to sort out a retirement plan. That is if you don't currently have one, because you're only supposed to have one. All right. So number 8, not being on the same page as your spouse when it comes to the finances. Now, it is important to be able to communicate with your spouse, right? A spouse is someone that if you choose bad, you might choose a spouse that let me not say it that way. When choosing a spouse, it will affect your mental, spiritual, emotional, and your mental, your emotional, spiritual, and financial well-being. So ensure that this person is capable in those areas. Because the Bible says, blind lead blind, they both fall into a ditch. So if you no good with money and him no good with money, that name will not suffer. Unless you're going to come to a consultation with me. And I do consultation for couples. Make it simpler for you what to do step by step so that you don't have to do the stressing. I make things clear so that all you have to do is follow 1, 2, 3. Right? So that's the type of coaching I provide for my clients. I provide clarity and I provide accountability sessions. All right, so number 9, having one source of income. So say, for example, you're not earning enough money. And you know me, I like to quantify things. So when I say something, you understand what I mean. What is enough? You're not earning enough money. You're earning $150,000 or less, right? You need to be earning as an individual at least $250,000 per month, especially if kids are in the picture, if you have children, right? Even if you have a spouse. Why? Because anything can happen. Anything can happen, and you will fall into a situation that no, you're not able to pay all your bills. Nobody wants that. So one day we got a call from somebody, and she was saying that she was saying that her husband had he had met in an accident and he was unable to work. So she alone covering the bills, right? She alone covering the bills, and at the time they were behind with the mortgage. And based on everything she said and the calculations I did for her, she basically was running out of money and not able to hold on very longer to be able to pay that mortgage. Now, if her situation was set up in a way that the house they got, either of them would be able to pay for the mortgage. Because what a lot of people do, they merge how much they can qualify for. So they add the spouse, the both of the salaries go together to qualify the house for the house. No, people, don't do that. Don't do that. Because things happen, life happens. And when life happens, you will need more money. So having one income, if your income is less than $150,000, is a money mistake. You need more income. All right. So number 11, no allocation for one. Now, I see a lot of persons when they come into the session and are reviewing their budget and they say, oh, my budget not balancing and so on. And these are people, these are people that every Friday night they're out with the boys or out with the girls. You understand? And I said to them, how you expect the budget to balance if you have not included any entertainment in the budget? Nothing in your entertainment, nothing is in your budget for entertainment. Nothing is in there. Nothing is in there for fun. How that work? How the maths for that work? So you must have a category for needs, especially if you're doing the thing, you know, you're going out to go movies every Friday. You have to have it in the budget, people. A budget without one, that not exist. You must have something that helps you to keep sane. That is why wants is in a budget. All right, so number 12, living above your means. Living above your means. Your expenses is more than your income. The thing about it is that because a lot of persons, so here is the solution, a budget. A budget is a solution because a lot of you are living above your means and you think you are spending like about 20,000 more than what you earn. So that's not so bad, at least that's what you're saying to yourself. But when you come to me and I plug the figures into the budget, you are 50,000. You are spending 50,000 more than you earn, 70,000 more than you earn. And this now cause you to need more debt because you need to supplement your income. So living above your means is a money mistake. So thinking about credit card as your money, people. Credit card is the bank's money. You ever wonder why? Let me tell you this. Some of you might know or pick up a credit card is treated differently from a debit card when someone uses your card. What that means? If somebody clones your credit card and somebody clones your debit card, the approach the bank uses is different. When somebody clones your debit card, they get money directly from your account. Then you have to go to the bank to dispute it for them to give you back. Then based on how the investigation goes, the bank will say, oh, we will give you back based on these conditions. And the bank may say, no, based on these conditions, your PIN was used, or your that was done, or this was done. And based on that, we cannot give you back your money. But with a credit card, immediately that credit card is replaced with another credit card. And the money that was taken is refunded to the new credit card. What do I mean? So you had a limit of 200,000 and you saw a transaction that you didn't make on the credit card. You go to the bank and say, oh, I see ABC Limited on my credit card, 20,000 came off from ABC Limited. I don't know what it is. And they do the investigation, see that something is off. They give you a new credit card. And say at the time, the balance you had on the card was 120,000, right? Including the 20,000 where the person take off. The bank is gonna refund you that 20,000 to put back on the card as if it was never taken. Because the credit card is the bank's money. So a lot of you that like to go strange places and you fight here and you fight there, you fight everywhere. Do not do it with your debit card. Don't do it with your debit card, because when you are in strange places and you don't trust the merchant, if you have cash, use it. Okay? Anybody who have had an issue with using the debit card and you had a whole heap of stress going through the bank, and another person you use a credit card and you never have much stress, almost like the next day you get back a new credit card and there you are good to go, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments so others can know that what I am saying is real. Real, real, real. So, number 14 is not having any life insurance, health insurance, critical illness insurance, people. Life insurance is important for you to cover your family. Also, life insurance is being used because the banks no longer, them no want to sell nobody else. It is stressful for the bank to find someone to purchase your house when you no longer can afford to make the payment. But this is why the banks come up now and say, no, new persons purchasing a house, they need life insurance. No, I never need none of that, because that was not implemented when I bought my house, when we get the mortgage in 2004, 20 years ago, almost 20 years, because it was August 2024. August, we moved into the house, and then the mortgage payments start coming out in November. Now, I won't get into the detail as to how we were actually able to move in before we start paying the payment, but that is between the lawyers. Lawyers can do many things, and they are helpful with negotiating when you can move into the house. Once certain things are finalized, you can move into the house before you make your first mortgage payment. All right? So if you want more details on that, contact your lawyer. Okay. So the life insurance now is to cover in case you die. The life insurance has a nice feature to it. The feature it has is that the house you purchase, say it's a $25 million mortgage against, right? $25 million, the life insurance has to be the equivalent. Say at the time you pass away, you had paid off 15 million. So 10 million is left on the mortgage. So what will happen, or what should happen, is that the bank takes their 10 million to pay off the mortgage, so the house is free for the family to enjoy. And the family will get the difference of the 15 million from the $25 million life insurance. So they have a house, plus them have 15 million. Now, the financial institutions have something called creditor life insurance. Creditor life insurance and life insurance, they do not operate the same. Creditor life insurance decreases over time. What do I mean? So if you get a house and yours is secured with a creditor life insurance, what it means is that when the debt is paid off, you only get the house. You don't get no money. So your family will get the house to live in with the creditor life insurance, but they will not get the 15 million. So we are using the exact scenario of the same person choosing a creditor life insurance instead of a life insurance, and you paid for a $25 million coverage. With the creditor life insurance, that person will, at the time of death, the family will only get a house for the creditor life insurance and no insurance money. But with a life insurance, they will get both house being paid off and the $15 million difference as a lump sum money. Okay? All right. Now, the health insurance. People, stop waiting until you're sick to get health insurance. If you work for a company, advocate, and it's more than 10 of you, at least 10 of you there, you can get group insurance. Group insurance starts with 10 people. So if your business or the person you work for is a small business and it's 10 of you, you can get group insurance. You can get a group insurance from local insurance company and international insurance company. If you want more details on that, you can message me, right? Send me a message. You can send it through moneycoachingservices.com. We have a chat section. You can type anything you want to ask here. Okay? And the health insurance, the group health insurance will cover the staff. So if you have 10 people, you can get group insurance from Sagicor, Guardian. I sell under the brokerage because I'm from Law Insurance Brokers as well. I sell for Morgan White, Pan American, and some other companies. All right, so I won't get into all of that detail, but what I'm saying, get group insurance. It's cheap. Cheap insurance, cheap health insurance. And with the group insurance, another benefit is that you can get more coverage for more persons. On the group insurance, you can cover yourself, your spouse, your children, up to, so a child up to age 18 or a child up to early 20s if the child is attending university. All right? All right. So make sure you get the health insurance. Don't wait till you're sick. Indicators that there is a list that the insurance company has for persons. If you have anything that is on the list, you cannot get the health insurance or they have conditions, well, you're going to have to do a medical. No going around that to get the health insurance. Okay? Good. The next thing is now critical illness insurance. Critical illness, there was a study done by the World Health Organization. Yes, Mr. Who. Yes, everybody must know who is due to COVID. Yes, that organization. In 2017, there was a study to say that stroke was the #1 cause of death in Jamaica. Yet still, a lot of people keep saying, oh, I don't need a critical illness policy because it doesn't have all investment. Seriously. Now, some people also say, I don't need a critical illness policy because I have health insurance. But here's the difference between a critical illness policy and health insurance. Health insurance has something called major medical, right? On major medical, it tells you how much money you can get from it. Some major medicals have a max, a cap. Say, for example, they say the cap is $5 million. Once you have used that $5 million in the past, from the day you get the health insurance till now, if you have a critical illness, then not much will be there for you to use. And you can only use it for medically related items. With a critical illness plan, you'll get a lump sum money in your hand, money in your account, and you can use it to pay for anything. Your mortgage, your car loan, your grocery, your cell phone bill, your medical. So you tell me which one you think make more sense. Something that can only pay for your medical bills or something that can pay for all your bills if you get a critical illness. I'm waiting, da da dee da da da. Health insurance versus critical illness insurance if you had to choose. Da da dee da da da. My verdict is critical illness because we want all of my money to spend the way I want to spend it. I don't want the limitations. So if I paid for a $7 million or $10 million critical illness plan, that is what I want, and I want to be able to spend it any old way I want to spend it. Because when a person has a critical illness, them no want no more stress. And since a lot of you who have financial challenges, you are overwhelmed by stress. And stress is another key factor to persons getting a critical illness. There is a study done overseas by Price Waterhouse and Coopers that says financial stress is causing medical conditions. Google it. I didn't make it up. Google it. So when, as a money coach, I approach companies and say to them, you need a financial wellness program in your organization, and they say, or they imply that they don't think it is important, go be unto them. Because the same study says persons who have financial challenges, one-third of the day is spent thinking about their financial problems. One-third of your staff is not thinking about the job while they are there. They are not thinking about work. They are thinking about how they can get out of the financial stress they are under. Da da dee da da da. Number 15. Using home equity like a piggy pan, like a piggy bank. People, you need to understand, right? The priorities that are placed on certain financial instruments. Let me say it like that. Your house is not to be played with. Your assets are not to be played with. When you have a house, you don't take your house and take out a loan against it. Or let me explain what is a home equity. A home equity is the difference between the value of an asset, and in this case, we're using a house as the asset, the value of the asset minus any amount that is owed against the asset, which is called liability. Now, if you have a mortgage against the house, you're going to subtract that mortgage figure. So we will say your house value is 25 million and the mortgage on it that is left is 10 million. So you have an equity of 15 million. And for those of you, if you have paid off your house, say you still have this $25 million house, your equity is 25 million. No, the equity in your house should not be used for, I want to go on a cruise. I need to go on a cruise every year. You're having financial problems and you're taking the home equity to go on a cruise? Mm-mm. No, baby. And buying luxury items. Oh, I want to buy the new series BMW or the new series Benz because I have to show people that I'm moving up in life. Da da da. Here I come. No, that is a financial mistake, people. We are not saying that you're not supposed to use the home equity. We are saying you have to be responsible. Use the home equity to go back to school. Use the home equity that will give you a profit or a return in the future. That is almost guaranteed. So we put in that caveat, almost guaranteed. So you don't put it in any risky investment. You don't put it in stocks. Definitely not. You don't put it in Bitcoin. Absolutely not. And you don't put it in Forex. There was one lady when I was at Scotiabank, she asked me if she should mortgage, take out a home equity loan um, to buy cash flow. And I turned to her and said, you're crazy? Absolutely not. You know what difficult it is to get a house? You're gonna risk your house to go into cash flow? No, darling. Take your car and do that. It's easy if you buy back another car. Or take some other thing that you have of value. That is gonna cause you less stress if you lose it. And this is our point. Taking all of these home equity loans puts your house at risk. And you already paid the bank how much millions in interest and fees. Don't play with it. Don't play with your future. So stop. Some people get consolidation, then take consolidation from here to Pluto. Yes, the planet that is no longer a planet, right? And they are using the home equity as the form that they take these debt consolidation. Yes, you have secured debt consolidation because some people cannot qualify for the unsecured one. So they use the house and create a home equity loan to consolidate debt, right? So they don't consolidate the debt and do it like how I tell them how to do it and fix the problem. Use the money freed up from the debt consolidation to pay back to the loan to pay it off. They don't do that. What they do is keep on spending the same old way and expect change. Change cannot come until you change. Life doesn't change unless you change because money management is all about control. You haven't figured it out. Who is in control of your money? It is about control. To control how you spend your money and the resources that are coming back to you as a result of you spending your money. Yes, so you can use a home equity loan to do what we call good debt. Good debt is spending money or taking a loan for the purpose of, say you're starting a business, and even if you're starting a business, you don't take the maximum. The maximum that you can get in Jamaica, based on what I've seen from the banks, is up to 80% of the equity in your home, right? So you want to start a business and you want a little capital to start the business, then you can think about taking a home equity loan. However, if you only need 3 million out of the 25 million, do not take 20 million. I beg you. Take exactly what you need and no more. Do not be greedy. Do not let your emotions lead you. Even if you're going back to school and you're taking loans, do not take the most expensive course because everybody's going to know that you paid $1 million for the course and blah, blah, blah. And you're up in your feelings. And yes, I'm going to look better than Karen and I'm going to look better than Stacy. And they can't talk to me because I will show them that I am in a course that only the rich people can pay for this course. Seriously. You know me now, straight as an arrow. Plain as day, I give it to you. I am that coach. My aim is to empower you and to warn you, give you the danger signs. So we are on to number 16, living paycheck to paycheck. Now, when people hear about living paycheck to paycheck, they think that it's only the people earning $150,000 per month is living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck people are people who have no savings. Da da dee da da da, and a lot of you fall in that category. No savings. Paycheck to paycheck people, no savings. You don't have any savings, you don't have any investment, you don't have anything that can be converted to cash if anything should happen. And so you are the ones who every month walking around complaining about salary increase. The government needs to give you a salary increase. The bank needs to give you a salary increase. Everybody needs to give you a salary increase. But what you don't realize is that the income, if you're earning 250,000 per month and you only have one child, that the income is not really the problem. You are the problem. You have no structure to your money management. If we are in a consultation, the first thing I would say to you is a person like you living paycheck to paycheck, you need to pay yourself first. Yep, you have to take out the savings first. Now, I used to live paycheck to paycheck, and how I got out of that is that in the first 5 years of working with Scotiabank, I had no savings. No savings. Dress up pretty every day, going to the bank, pretty, pretty, pretty. No savings. So I'm not judging you, right? And I have clients that earn 500,000 per month, no savings. $1 million per month, no savings. You see a pattern. Some of you are saying that if you had more money, you would save. But I'm saying to you that is the habit that you need to change. You have a money management habit that first needs to change because when your salary increases, you increase your expenses. Tell me if I lie yourself. Every time your salary increase, you increase the expenses instead of paying down your current loans and credit cards. And you expect not to be living paycheck to paycheck. So the initial stage, I sent money all the way to St. Mary to a credit union where I could not touch it. I had to physically go there to draw the money, and I'm not doing that. I'm a creature of convenience. If it's not close to me, if it's not accessible, I don't have the time for it. And then when later on, I developed a strategy, better strategy, right? To stop living paycheck to paycheck. And the strategy is to save, listen, save 1 month of your expenses. How much? 1 month. So this is the first step in creating your emergency fund. Save 1 month. If you earn $1 million per month, that is how much you have to save. Save 1 month. After you save the 1 month, you will no longer be living paycheck to paycheck because you are only to touch that money if it is an emergency, if you not get no pay, if you want to leave the job and go start your business, if you have a medical expense and your salary can't cover it. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, so I am gonna this is teaching you how to block the road on these bad habits, on these mistakes. I used to make them. I'm not judging you. And if I'm judging you, I'm judging myself too. Boo hoo hoo. Because the Bible says, judge not, for with what measure you judge, you shall be judged. In essence, it's not saying that you mustn't judge, you know. You pause where it says do not judge, because every human being on this planet judges the other. I am 100% sure of that. It is just that some of us are unnecessarily critical of others without getting some good information about the person before we make a conclusion. And that is what the Bible is saying. Don't be quick to pass judgment. And if you pass a judgment and you see something that is opposite to the opinion you had of the person, it would be wise of you to apologize and form a different opinion. But many people, once they have formed an opinion of you, that is the opinion they have of you forever. And that is not wisdom in no shape or form, because they don't realize that the first judgment may be a misjudgment on their part because they were quick to judge. They didn't give themselves time to assess the individual. So some of you don't like people, and you don't like people because you see something happening in the moment. You 3 seconds and you make a judgment, and then after that, that judgment can't change until Christ comes. No, people cannot live like that. As people improve their image of what they do, you should improve your image of them and yourself. People who are extremely critical of people are also extremely critical of themselves. All right, I kind of stray a little bit to the spiritual side. We're going back to the financial side. All right, so 17. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. This is a mistake. You are keeping up with the Joneses. Joneses. I stop keeping up with the Joneses. Yes. Yes. Stop watching your neighbor. Right? Stop watching your neighbor, because you and your neighbor have different resources. You will never be able to do the things like they do it. They will never be able to do the things like you do it. So focus on the gifts and talents that God has given to you. And you can add more to it. Go back to school. This nonsense going around. Oh, I'm too old to go back to school. I'm too old. You're not too old to spend money, though, don't it? Hmm? At what age you're too old to spend money? You want the money to spend, but you have no wisdom. You want the money to spend, but you are like the blind leading your family, and they are also blind. Blind me blind, they both fall in a ditch. You have nothing to teach them. And this is my problem with parents and grandparents. And I put myself in that scenario as well. What I teach you, I teach my children. Alex is 11, going on 12. Mark is 23. And these are the things I teach my children. Why? Because I don't want them to start from ground zero. I want them to be ahead of everybody else. That's what parenting is about. Set up your children for their success. That's my job. A lot of people don't see their jobs as parents. And when I say success, I mean mental, spiritual, financial. No, I am not the parent that is only giving the child attention when they do something. It is wrong. You are teaching the children that they are not important unless they perform. It's not a circus. It's a human being you're dealing with. Yeah, I know I step on some corn, but it's just me that make me very good at stepping on corn. Human being you're dealing with here. So you need to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. No way are you gonna feel good if the people that you're around are only treating you good because of what you have. And since most of you don't, I'm an introvert here. We're not antisocial. We get energy from reflection, introspection, and those things. We like to help people, we like to give advice, we like to learn, and we like to teach. It's just that most introverts are also straightforward. We don't delve into much shallowness. We easily bored. So keeping up with the Joneses is something, is not my style, has never been my style. Because I am who I am regardless. Hmm. I am who I am regardless. God gave me that power, and no flesh and blood can take that away from me. So if you want to transfer your power to other people because of your position, this is the reason why you think keeping up with the Joneses is a thing. It is a thing for you to work and do your best and put your best foot forward. Nothing is wrong with that. But if you are extending yourself, you hear them say forthright. If you are forcing yourself to do something that you cannot manage to get praise from people to like you, if they don't like you without your things, they're not gonna like you genuinely with your things. They're just going to like your thing. Like I tell somebody one time to listen. Yeah, I like the house, I like the car, I just don't like you. Ooh. What does that mean? That means we all have our preferences, and you should not be ashamed of your preference. Now, on a biblical stance, I am Christian, right? But I will not disrespect anyone who has not disrespected me. That are just me. That not nothing to do with no Bible. So stop keeping up with the Joneses. It is important though to have a good image of yourself. Dress well, speak well, and have a good temperament. This will help you to attract persons around you that can be helpful in the future if you want to do projects or do collaboration with persons to push your career. So that is important. So if you're in sales, I'm not telling you not to upgrade the car. I'm not saying that because you're not watching people. What you're doing is looking at the job that you have and saying, okay, I think I can afford to upgrade, and this will also improve my image to my clients, and hence it will also boost my confidence for me to sell more. That can work, but be mindful of how much it is you're spending. So if you can afford, say, a $5 million vehicle, buy that. Don't buy the $15 million vehicle. So you have a $2 million vehicle now and you want to upgrade, right? And if you follow the Joneses, they are 15, but you can only afford a $5 million vehicle. Do the 5 because you're doing the 5 so that you can improve your image and also get more sales as a salesperson, as a wealth manager, as a coach, as a consultant. That is not a mistake. The mistake is when you extend yourself to the Joneses is at 15. You cannot comfortably reach $15 million to buy the vehicle, but you force yourself to do so. That is a mistake, a big one, and you shall pay dearly for it. And dog me, anybody suffer who pass and scratch it like the taxi man then. For those of you who are in Jamaica and you see how Jamaicans drive, especially in Kingston, you will know that if you buy a $15 million vehicle and you only can comfortably afford a $5 million vehicle, when anybody scratch that car, you're going to become a different person and not a good one. So don't put yourself in situations that make you behave outside of your character. Because these things will make you become angry and resentful for simple things. It's a vehicle, not a human being. So don't worship it. Don't worship people neither. Right? Be comfortable in the skin you're in. Stop keeping up with the Joneses, not only for your finances, but in life. Do you. Number 18. Going into debt for luxury items. Wow. Yep, very closely related. Going into debt for luxury items. So some of you, you want to take the cruise. You want every year you have to go to the hotel. You have to. Really? What was up? Have to? Have to. You see, you speak to yourself in this way and then you convince yourself of lies. You don't have to do nothing. Stay at your yard. Sort out your finances. Right? Just because you want to be able to take all those pictures and post them up on Facebook and IG to say, oh, I am living well. Look at my house. Look at my car. Look at my vacation. Look at my nails. Look at my hair. Seriously. And then you complain that your money is not going right. But you are the problem with your money. These are the mistakes you are making. Most of them are emotional, emotional spending that has driven you to make some of these money mistakes, right? So what you need is structure. And structure will help you to say, okay, you want to do these things. The next thing structure will say is when. How soon can I do it? Right? And structure will say, all right, you used to do it every year, we're gonna change it. So every year to every other year, or if you want to do it every year still, you have to go to a different location, a cheaper location. So you do the math. It's either you do a vacation that is less costly, so you can spend the difference of the money on something else that will add to your future. And you can't spend all your money on expensive people. That is what we are alluding to. All of your money cannot be spent on expense. If you spend all of your money on expenses, you will forever be poor. And when I say poor, I don't necessarily mean that you are earning less than 500,000. You are living paycheck to paycheck. And then when you start accumulating all of these debts, right? What will happen is that your wealth is going into the minus. It's about the wrong way. The wealth are run from you. It's going in the wrong direction. So this thing about creating wealth mindset, and what you call generational wealth, yeah, that's a big one. Big one in them. Generate where with your habits, generational wealth not nowhere near you, even when you earn $1 million per month. So it's not the earning. You earn well, but there are three levels of money. You learn to earn, you earn, then you save, then you multiply. So earn, keep, and multiply. Earn, keep, multiply. What I said, say it after me. Earn, keep, multiply. Earn, keep, multiply. Earn, keep, multiply. Earning is your income. Keep is your savings. Multiply is your investment. What do we recommend for investment? Assets. We like assets. We like houses. We like land. We like commercial property. That's my personal preference. Yeah, that is my personal preference. So we are on to number 19. Number 19 is going into debt for a wedding. All right, so when I was getting married, right, I said to my spouse that I realized that some people they have quarrels and so on after the wedding. One person blaming the other person that they spend too much. So here is what we are going to do. Cause me now cost over no money because I know wedding. So I said, you pay for all the people you will bring, and I will pay for all the people I bring. What can better than that, people? All right. So if I want to bring 100 people to the wedding, that's exactly what I'm going to do because I'm the one that's going to pay for those 100 people. If he wants to bring 200 people to the wedding, he's going to pay for those 200 people. So anybody him tell about the wedding that is going to come, him responsible for them. Anybody I tell about the wedding, I am responsible for them. It's a simplified thing. So maybe that can help you too if you are planning a wedding to not have this whole heap of debt, right? And no, we did not borrow for the wedding. No, weddings are something that will make some people go overboard. Taking a $5 million loan to have a wedding, no, people, that is a big mistake. Big, big. Because you're going into the marriage with a debt, and a debt that is not a liquid debt, right? And you might already have different debts. Some of you might have student loans still paying off. You might have car loan. We understand young people like buy them car early. You understand, or get a loan for a car loan early. So you need to think about the future. What does your money look like in the future? So you can't, it's not a good idea to start off a relationship, start off a marriage with a lot of new debt. For the $5 million loan for a wedding, enough. And some persons have had trouble in their marriages because of the cost of their wedding. The marriage not start yet. The honeymoon. There's no honey in the moon because everybody is at each other's throat about why you bring this person, why you never bring this person, why you spend so much, why you people. Money is simple. People are not. Simplify what you do with your money, and you will have less things to stress you out, less things to argue about. Number 20, this is the final one, is the mistake many people make. Starting a family without a financial plan, like seriously. Like really? Just starting a family without a financial plan? You don't have no plan at all what go on? You don't know if how much children you want. You don't know, all right, if you have children, how if the wife is gonna stay at home, is your wife gonna be a stay at home wife? Is she gonna be there just for the first 1 year or 2 years? What is the dynamic going to look like? And if that is so, how will the expenses be paid? Like seriously, people, it can't be that you're rushing to get married and don't have a plan for your future. You have to have the plan before it is prudent of you. Let me say, you don't have to do nothing. It is prudent of you to have the plan before you even think about getting married. Sit down and have these conversations with your person who you are considering to getting married, because you might find that when you start expressing the things that you want to see in your marriage, that the other person have a different view. They thought your view and their view was the same, and they no longer interested in this marriage or to be married. So these you have to have conversations about the future. What is your future going to look like with this person? Will you have children? Now, you know me always I let you know in my business. So in my case, before we even got married, we had the conversation that how much children you want, right? I said one, him said four. Me now have four. Fitness, nobody. Yep, them I go get one cat and one dog to make it four. So I came to two children. And that's what I currently have. And I'm not having no more for nobody else. So even if I remarry, that will be the case because I am the type of person. I like structure to my life. Some people, they like the drama. Drama, drama, drama. Everywhere is drama. But with drama comes confusion, and with confusion comes stress. So a lot of stress that we have is based on the fact that there is poor communication. This is my summary. Poor communication with your family, you and your spouse. Lack of financial education, financial illiterate. We have a membership to help people get educated on money. So visit moneycoachingservices.com/membership to get the details. And people generally, the furthest to think about is paydays. A lot of people don't think past 30 days. And these are the people who are talking about generational wealth. But let me tell you, generational wealth is built by persons who plan. Now, some of you might not believe, but the longest budget I've done is a 3-year budget. And for some reason, I was prompted to go and research what is the longest budget that somebody has reported. And it said that Pepsi Cola, I think it's Pepsi Cola, either Pepsi Cola or Coca Cola, one of them. Remember Pepsi Cola? Pepsi Cola? Pepsi. Pepsi or Coca Cola, one of them. Uh, do a budget for, was it 10 years? I think it's 10 years I saw. It was a long time ago. But I'm going off. I'm saying 10-year budget. Wow, that's a good budget. But you might be saying, oh, so many things change in 10 years. But also what you don't know, when you do a long budget, remember a budget is flexible. In your mind, a budget is rigid, not so. A budget is never rigid. A rigid budget is always going to fail. That's why your budget must have in categories for adjustment, right? So my 3-year budget, I was able to see if I save X amount for the next 3 years, how much money I would have, what opportunities would be available. Now, as I am living out each month as it goes into each of those months to go up to the 3 years, then some things start changing. So when the changes start happening, you will see early, and this is how I started to realize that, okay, for like insurance, I need to split up the payments in 12 to budget for it each month instead of just paying a 1-year premium. It shows you that you are going to have problems and you can see it before the problem comes. When you have a 1-year budget, it shows you all of the problems that can come up within the 1 year. Now, my recommendation is that you put in all your expenses, everything, from the ones you have every month to the ones you have every quarter to the ones you have every year or any other cycle that you have. Because you might have subscriptions and all other things, and you put it in the budget, put everything in there. When you do that, do not get overwhelmed. It's just numbers. The numbers provide clarity. Now, if when you look at the numbers, you don't know what to do, then that is why I am here. I provide clarity for my clients to help them so that when they don't know what to do, I'll be able to give them the advice they need so that they can improve their money management. So this is Tajin, your money coach from Money Coaching Services. So remember to subscribe, 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 subscribe. I know you got value from this. I know you got value, so just subscribe and hit the notification bell. And yes, you can share the video. Share it on Facebook, share it on WhatsApp, share it on LinkedIn, share it on the social media platforms, right? Because there are a lot of persons who are struggling with their finances and they are combing the internet to find where to go and they are clueless. And what they get most of the time is mindset. So money is mainly 80% mindset. Now coming out of banking, my perspective is different, right? So everybody gonna have a slightly different perspective. Mine is coming from banking, 18 years in banking. I'm also a money management author. My book is on Amazon. Money Moves That Matter, Simple Steps to Become Debt Free is on Amazon for persons to purchase. And I wrote that book after becoming debt free, after paid off my mortgage, my loans, and my credit card. So I can teach you more in depth. So this is it for us today. Have a great week. Bye-bye.